mindset. This is a treat today for this live virtual conversation. You know, in regards to Alwi Badaru. I know I'm not saying his last name right, and I never did because I always call him Coach Alwi. But have you ever heard of someone that's just say it's only $5? And the funny thing is, when people think about just $5 and changing your life, you don't think those two things go hand in hand. But that's why this whole conversation, and 3 years ago, meeting this amazing mentor and one of my coaches of the AI Cash Story system, he literally built his business from the ground up and now millionaire and showing and pouring into other people. 3 years ago, I remember coming into one of his live sessions where he, part of Wealth Warriors, but he invited me to his private session. And he had the twins, Jared Brown and Jeff Brown. And still connecting with them today. It's like people that you connect along the way. He's helped thousands of people with their opportunity. And now always launching something new, the Digital Freedom Launchpad, a blueprint showing everyday people how to turn their actual Facebook profiles into $1,000 to $10,000 a month, like multiplied without ads, without tech, without overwhelm, without even showing your face. And I was looking at his post before he jumped on today. And he said that he hit it on the head in regards to low ticket, mid ticket, and high ticket. Most people think like $5 a framework, while low ticket and high ticket and even mid ticket all offer on the same engine. It's trust and belief. And then, so we'll talk about today how we use AI to show the simple process with Facebook on how to build a predictable system, and then literally to be able to show a strategy to help people ages 20 to 60. And we'll go through that as well in regards to his program, because there's no excuses. So using his method, you're able to actually get a snapshot on how to build something incredible. And it's only $5. It's not because of the cost, honestly. It's because he teaches things that actually work. He's been through the process. He's been through the grind. He's even moved countries, and just right now being available to just stop for a minute for one of his students, Adriane. And I truly appreciate him in the journey. So if this workshop doesn't change your life with this live virtual conversation and knowing that strategy and building with AI and your authentic story, we get to kind of dig into Coach Alwi's story today. What up though, Coach? Let me bring you to the stage and actually have you on a live virtual conversation with Adriane. How are you, my friend?
Boom!
Come on!
Thank you so much for having me here. Yeah, very, very well. You hit it, right? I just literally moved, slowly settling in, launched a brand new program, and it's been so much stuff ongoing. I literally was finishing up recording some of my training videos because, the whole idea is it's such a huge, big piece, so many moving parts, but my belief is always that break it down, build it up piece by piece, step by step with whatever time that you have.
But you know what, I honestly want to thank you publicly because again, 3 years ago, I remember you didn't know me from Adam, and like I was in Wealth Warriors and you had your own coaching program and you was like, Adriane, you got this, just jump into my program. Didn't even charge me at the time. And I appreciate those small things, seriously, because again, it shows the type of character and having that faith and belief of who you are, my friend. So I don't forget these things. I truly appreciate you, seriously. So in saying that, how does it feel, my friend, being a coach, being a mentor, moving, doing all these different things, even taking a break for over a year and then coming back and then just diving right back in like it's not skipping a beat?
Well, yeah, it is tough, right? Because we need to prioritize and reprioritize. See, the biggest difference between me and everybody else is that I actually come from, 16 years as a senior corporate executive for brands like Apple, Nestle, Coca-Cola. So why I could do that where I offered you to join in my program absolutely free, no charge, and actually you're not the only one, many people as well, is because the truth is I didn't need the money. My day job paid me more than enough, okay? But the reason why I still decided to try and build my brand and try to build something is because, I started this entire journey because I was highly paid, but in 16 years of my corporate journey, I was let go or retrenched at least 2 to 3 times. The first time that it happened to me, before I even tell you that story, let me tell you the mindset, okay?
Okay.
Here I was, young kid, right? Nothing special about me. I just work hard and relatively intelligent, if you will. I only graduated with a diploma. I got expelled from school twice, so I'm not really your average Joe. And I have a ponytail with a earring as a senior corporate executive, right? So you can imagine I'm not your regular corporate guy. I've always been a rebel. So that said, when I came into the corporate world, I just implemented my street smart strategy, and I started to climb really, really fast. I was coming on the articles and all this as the young gun. So 6 years into my corporate journey, after 3 years, I was moved to Hong Kong to live in Hong Kong from Malaysia, right? And I was only 26 years old, right? So I was not bad at all, and pretty good salary. And at that point in time, I thought, wow, every year I'm getting increment, a promotion, a raise, man, life is good. Nothing bad could possibly happen, right?
Right.
So being a typical 25, 26-year-old guy, right, under 30, you naturally spend and splurge because you know that the paycheck is always going to come month to month, okay? So by the time I was like 29 or 30 years old, I bought a house, right? I bought myself a car. I have all this commitment. I'm like, yeah, no worries. My job is going to essentially pay for it. But in that year, I lost my job for the first time. Bam, right?
Oh, wow.
And yeah, so I didn't have any sense of plan B, savings or anything because it was so stable for 6 years and I kept on growing and earning more money. And what happened was that very year, I went through I was jobless for 6 months, right? I didn't know about creating a side hustle or anything like that. And in that 6 months journey, I really ran out of money, right? Debt collectors, credit card, my new home, my new car, all of these things started to chase in and made me really realize that, holy crap, this is not safe at all.
Right, right.
And I'm thinking to myself like, well, I'm this young superstar coming out, article, every company want me, but it still took me 6 months. And by the time I got a job 6 months later, I was so in debt, it took me at least a year or two to repay all of those things. So that's where it gave me this wake-up call that, oh, okay, having this title, this fancy job, like high paying, is actually not secured at all. Someone can just, basically, this is what I always say, we are just a spreadsheet in the finance person's number, right? You're not a person, you're literally just a number with your title and how much you earn essentially. So that started to really wake me up and say, oh, okay, I have to be really careful because now I actually have commitments as I'm moving into my 30. And I think I lost my job again, when COVID hit. So that was probably, I can't remember what year, like 22 maybe, 21. And that's the time where I said, you know what, I really, gotta double down on this thing and make it work. And even though I still managed to get a really high paying job, they moved countries again. They moved me to Thailand. I came from Thailand to the Middle East now. And I was doing well, but I was working so hard. So that's around the time that we all came together and you start to see me like really post, start to build my brand and all this. I was doing this while, traveling to multiple countries and things like that. Most nights I'm super exhausted, but I just keep on remembering that feeling of, being like losing it all completely, right? So that's the drive. And this is actually the ambition. Those sleepless nights, those nights where, you could have just gone to bed, watched Netflix, but you built your business. And this is exactly it. Because today, right, this is exactly what I envision. To no longer depend on my day job.
Let's
high paying, yes, but can I create a side income that's higher paying than that, or at least match that, so I don't have to, report to a boss, go into a work where I don't get to see my wife and my baby Frenchie at all. Now I'm literally a full-time stay-at-home. I cook for my wife every single day now, right, while working and building my business, which is absolutely insane. To top that up, we moved to the Middle East because it's actually beautiful over here. So yeah, crazy journey, right? And you met me when I was still grinding really hard, still had my corporate day job and, doing the coaching, doing the boot camps and all those kind of things. So, it's still something that I'm trying to get used to because only this year in May, I officially left my corporate job for good.
Come on, congratulations, yeah.
Everybody in my corporate circle is like, dude, where do you go? What job did you get? Because they still have the 9 to 5 mindset. I'm like, I didn't get a job, dude.
Right.
I'm working on my own thing. They're like, what? What are you doing, right? Because nobody knew. I've always been building a dual identity, right? I have my with you guys, right? Who I am, and I also have my corporate identity with the bigger brands, right? So they just get amazed and surprised. Yeah.
But how does it feel to be kind of, you live in like the born identity? You have two lives, right? But now you finally can kind of let go and be Alwi, right? After May of 2025. That's crazy. How does that feel mentally?
Well, in the corporate world, I'm also relatively known, right? Like I'm a top leader. I've done speaking gigs in Google, right? Nestle, Coca-Cola. So relatively like crazy stuff, I would say. But people will always think like, man, this guy is different. Like they never understood why. And I was in my mind, in my heart, this whole time, I was like, dude, you have no freaking idea.
Right.
Right. Right. Like how I always post stories and stuff on my social here. I don't do it in the corporate world, but this year I started to do it, and people were like, "Man, you're a natural at this stuff." I'm like, "You have no idea." This stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's kind of crazy to hold both, and I always tell my wife like, "These guys have no idea." Yeah.
But you know what the greatest thing about this though is finally you're able to merge worlds and show people in the corporate world what it looks like to kind of have that autonomy to work for yourself. And so like in regards to like even that transition, I didn't even know you were posting like in the last couple of months, right? I saw your stories and stuff, and just dealing with that, the frustration of moving and things not actually aligning like you actually want them to. How do you deal with those like things that are just not laid out for you, right? What kind of mindset do you have to kind of live this double personality that's finally coming into one?
Yeah, so like I learned it very early that challenges, problems, and all of these things or painful experiences that you go through is happening for a reason, right? And honestly, that's the thing that's making us who we are.
Oh my
God.
God.
When we are experiencing at that very moment, right, we cannot see it. And even when I experience it now, and I have goosebumps as I'm telling you this, because that's how I learned all of this, I need to remind myself that, listen, it's tough right now, but, maybe a week, maybe a month, maybe a year from now, you'll look back and say, thank God I went through that pain.
Right.
Just like the pain of, losing my job the first time, the second time. Otherwise, none of this would have ever appeared. Or, none of this drive and motivation and vision and ambition will ever happen. So I actually tell that to my students. I will tell them, listen, I know it's hard right now. Right. So I will tell them, don't say you can't. You just rephrase it in your mind by saying, I presently struggle with X, right? Because you are only just struggling with it now, right? But once you get through it, you essentially get a lot better and better at that thing.
I love that. And you know what? One of the things I love, like, when you're in the Saturdays and coaching, like, you're honest and authentic and straight up. Like, all that fluff and stuff like that, you're not that type of coach. Like, you give it to people straight up. Like, seriously, like, don't make excuses if you don't want to actually move to another portion. But like you said, like, if you presently are in something and getting out of that turmoil, like, if someone is watching and they're having problems with even transitioning to that mindset, what would be some advice that you would actually give them before you even jump into, like, your program and everything?
Right, like mindset in terms of eliminating the excuses and the barriers and the challenges and the problems that comes. Well, honestly, right, it is so simple, right? If you are, I don't care what business you guys are doing, what business model, affiliate marketing, master resale rights, digital creator, right, an influencer or a course creator. Listen, at the bottom of it all, it only means two things. Number one, we are a digital marketer. Number two, we are a freaking entrepreneur owning your own business.
That's it.
Okay, right? So essentially, when you start doing stuff that's on your own, regardless of business model, you cannot avoid the challenges that it comes, because that's what builds your character with it. So I always say you need to have a problem solution mindset to every single thing. And you just got to be so brutally honest with yourself when you evaluate yourself. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I did a launch, it flopped, for example.
Right.
So, most people will say, well, it's because I didn't have this experience, or my following is small, and all this stuff. No, right? We can blame everything else, but actually it comes down to you, your habits, your behavior, the things that truly drives you. So this is why these days, right, as I move into like coaching longer and longer and longer, the more I just call it out as it is, because I learn now that there's no point for me to sugarcoat any kind of situation to any students, right? If I'm shocked and I call it out, it's because it's better they hear it from me than to think that, oh, I'm doing a great job. My coach say like, it's all right, they will continue. Because no, what I really want is to get them results.
Right.
And if you really want results, right, you need to hear it. You need to hear the things that you actually won't want to hear, because we've been so conditioned to hear only the things that we want. And most coaches or programs get paid when you stay, right? So naturally they want you to feel good and all this. For me, it's like, no, I want to get you guys results.
Right.
Like even if that means that your time working with me will be shorter, it's even better, because the real game here, as I always say, I win when they win.
Right. Right.
And that's the key. And you can see from the kind of testimonials that I create, from the kind of testimonials that people write, right? They know it, they hear it, they feel it, right? Because not everyone has that kind of desire or fire to want them to succeed so badly more than themselves.
And that's the thing that I love about you though too, because like with your testimonials, and even talk about what made you even start Digital Freedom Launchpad, because even a couple of days ago, like it makes me cringe when I have to still spend money, right? I don't know why. Now I got a whole different mindset, but you have to invest in yourself in order to reach your goals. I'm building this school community for taxes and AI and business marketing and everything. And so getting AI in this wealth strategy, you've got to invest in yourself. So talk a little bit about what made you create the Digital Freedom Academy and get started with that.
If you scroll up, actually just reload the page. There's another version of this, or maybe just scroll up. Let me just see if it's there.
Okay.
And I'll tell you exactly why visually. Okay, just scroll down a little bit, because there's two versions of this page. I can't remember if this one has it. Scroll down. There, here. Actually, it's on my other page, if you could load that. Basically, what I did was, I created a live video, okay, when I realized that this new AI text/image post strategy is blowing up and is being kept by all the big dogs.
Yeah.
Okay? And I realized it. I realized what was going on. I was like, holy crap, they are growing like crazy, and they are misleading people into saying, oh, this is working because if you buy my program, this is the results that you're gonna get. And I was like, that really made me furious.
Right.
So I went live, and in my other landing page, I actually have a screenshot of the live video that I did. And I said something like, this is an emergency live. I didn't even plan, I didn't have a script. I say, listen, it's time for the underdogs to win. And I said something like, the rich keep getting rich because they keep in their circle, and that's exactly what all the big dogs was doing. And I said in that very live that I'm going to break this thing wide open.
Right.
I'm going to do it for free. And if you guys want in, comment I'm in, okay? This is only for underdogs. That's how this whole thing started. Because the idea was not to monetize, right? It's never been my style.
Right.
And the fastest way that I could do it is by going live on Facebook and saying, listen, there's this thing that's really happening right now. It's absolutely insane, right? I've just tried it, it's working for me, and I'm pretty sure that it will work for everybody. And if you guys want in, you've been struggling, you don't have money, you've been trying to do this thing, now's the time. Comment I'm in, join me exactly for free to join my better group. Okay? But the intent was, if this thing was so powerfully good and it was working, why not share it?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
My perspective was, there are over 5 billion plus people on Facebook.
Right.
Okay? Which means that there is plenty of money for everybody.
Right.
So that's why I said, listen, if you have no funds, if you've been struggling, if you're an underdog, whatsoever, comment that keyword, and then essentially, honestly, I didn't have a plan, but my how to do it. But to my surprise, that video essentially somewhat blew up. And before I knew it, in like hours, we have at least 20, 30, all the way up to 50 people telling me they want in, and I did not realize the kind of impact that I was going to create. That at 20 plus people, it was already chaotic because I already didn't have a plan, right? And and somebody in the group, because I started a group chat, right? And like Daniel and Nate's in it too. And somebody's group that, Ali, you might want to put a cap to this because it's going to get really messy. I said, you know what? You're right. Okay, so I'm saying, sorry guys, I really have to cap it at about 20, I think we were 25 people to start. And it was getting like hard to even manage. So unfortunately, I had to turn people down. Okay, so the intent was to do it for free. So after we did it, I did the training, I created a private group. We still have the chat until today, teach them whatever it is that they need to do. Everybody, right, I kid you not, within a day, less than 24 hours, spikes increased in every single person. Okay? So we've been doing this now for about a month or two, and I thought to myself, what is the next best thing that I can do, right? Obviously, I need to live as well, right? I'm going to put so much time to teach people and stuff.
Right.
So that's where the $5 workshop came about.
I love it.
Well, instead of like putting it at $997 or $297 or a $997 kind of offer, make it so ridiculously cost affordable that if this is my psychology, okay, in my mind, if a person is not even willing to invest $5 in a strategy like this,
right,
actually working,
right,
deserve to have it.
right, right. But that's the faith and belief part, right? That's the part that I love about it, because again, like I'm honestly, I know a couple of months ago when everybody started doing the posting on Facebook, I didn't jump in for a couple of reasons, and I'm still like teetering on the fence. I'm working on what I'm working on, and then I think I'm gonna jump in with it as well. But my mindset is, so like you said, there's billions of people on Facebook every day, right? So when you're posting all of these different posts, how does it actually engage my audience? Like they're seeing, so I'm still trying to get over that hurdle. I'm not gonna lie to you, because that's the reason I haven't jumped all the way in, because it does take time too to do it. Even though with all the tools and everything else, we got Threadmaster, we have all these tools, but it's like, what's my end goal? Just to get views, or I really want to have? So that's why I'm trying to create my why first with my AI wealth strategist, and then go in. Yeah.
All right. So let's turn it into a quick coaching session.
Oh, here we go.
So, your main offer right now?
Say it again.
What is your main offer right now? The thing that you're selling, or the main thing that you're driving people to?
So right now it's the school community, the Tax Extraordinary Resource Community on school.
Okay, perfect. So you got a free, is it a free
yes.
community? Okay, absolutely brilliant. So the question is, in order for people to even join that free community of yours, you need people to even hear it or get to know about it, right?
Right.
Okay, so that's step number one with anything.
Right, that's
step
true.
Number one in the entire ecosystem is traffic generation.
Right.
A simpler term for it is getting eyeballs to your community, your offer, or whatever it may be, right? So essentially, you want to generate traffic or build some kind of awareness that people know that this thing exists. Right? Okay, so that's why we would create, in the past, we would create a reel, we'll create YouTube videos, we'll create, stories and stuff like that. But this new attention hack, or rather the Facebook Blue Ocean strategy, right? What's happening right now is, in simplest term, in the past, probably 6 months before this, Facebook will only push content in your home feed based on the people that is in your friend circle.
Right.
Okay? And now they've essentially shifted from building community of like-minded people to complete discovery, just like TikTok.
Right.
Like when you go on TikTok homepage, you see all sorts of people that you don't even follow, right?
Right.
That's exactly what Facebook's doing right now, which means that if you tap into this kind of AI text image post, which is so freaking lazy and easy to do.
I know, right? I know it is. It is rough.
I've not seen anything like this that, in my mind, is just absolutely ridiculous. Okay, so what happens is, number one, you need traffic, right?
Right.
And when you post like this consistently, you will realize that two things happen. Okay, number one, if I could show you my analytics, it essentially tells me that every post that I make is not necessarily going to my followers. It's going to non-followers.
Right.
Okay? Some of these posts go as far as 90% non-followers and only 10% followers. Okay, so that's crazy. Okay, and
Yeah.
something that you'll notice here is the engagements is not like crazy.
Right.
Last
That's what throws me off. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you know what I'm saying? You see, it does. Look, I'm listening.
Correct. But you must understand something, right? If all of us are doing it every single day, I'm personally posting one post every 3 hours in autopilot. I didn't even write a single word.
I noticed that. Yeah, go ahead. I'm listening.
Right? So that's what I said. This is probably the most easiest, simplest, and laziest way that ever existed to drive traffic or eyeballs to your offer.
Right.
And if you look at some of my posts, it's never the same CTA. Sometimes it's the Launchpad,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's my school community, and every single day I'm opening my school and people are joining. I don't promote it anywhere else, which is insane. Right? So you might want to start jumping on that.
I'm gonna do it today though. You know, you know how it works. Like, I'm gonna do it today. I'm gonna get right back into it. Cause yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah, so that's the general idea, and why it is so simple and powerful in the life. When I opened up to Meta, I said, guys, listen, because I work for an ad tech company just like Meta,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I told them in their life, I said, we have to act fast because we don't know how long until they essentially stop incentivizing or pushing. Okay, the
Right.
backstory of the business context behind this is simply because Meta is a free platform for people, right?
Mhm.
So they don't make money from people like us. They make money from people or businesses who spends money on ads.
Yeah.
Now, to increase your overall ad revenue dollar as a corporate business, you need more people spending time on Meta or Facebook platform.
Right.
Okay, that's exactly why they started to incentivize and start pushing the format that they are the strongest at. Because Meta Reels will never beat TikTok Reel.
That's
Agreed?
right. I agree. Yes.
Right? We could never beat certain elements like it can never beat Twitter in tweets, right?
Right.
But Meta realized that, okay, we're not going to compete on the things that we can't win. Why don't we double down on the things that we
can win?
What
Yeah.
can we win? Text post. That's what they're strongest at.
Mhm.
And then now, text/image post, which kind of makes sense. So that's why they turn into discovery, because what happens is more people are going to start spending time on Facebook versus going onto TikTok, into IG, so on and so forth. And because of that, creator profiles like us, or anybody essentially that activates a creator or professional profile,
Mhm.
they just get more exposure. Okay, so this is the overall idea. There's a lot more to it, but essentially the general sense. So, and I can tell you that I don't really spend too much time on getting those posts out. I mean, that's the most ridiculous part.
Right. Right.
One day because I've already done the work, I've kind of finalized, the prompts and all this kind of stuff. So all I need to do, one day in a week, sit down once and get all my content pretty much done,
Mhm.
almost automated as best as possible, schedule them a week ahead, and I'm just doing my own thing, building my program right now, shooting the first video, I almost don't even bother, it's not best practice, to reply in the comments because it's just too many.
Right. But it makes sense. You know, like I say, I listen. So maybe this live virtual conversation was for me. So I'm literally gonna do it today. Like I'm going to be. So are you doing between 10 posts every day in regards to, like, you set it up every 3 hours?
It's a bit crazy. Like I wouldn't lie, because it is still relatively new. The person, right, the big dogs that actually discovered this started as far as April. I only realized it sometime in July. That's why I started this beta group in August.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you are like trading marketer, it's also fundamentally my corporate job to understand what's moving, what's working, and how all this stuff is. So I couldn't help but notice that, oh crap, this thing is actually happening, and it's honestly the most ridiculously simple
I know.
ever.
It is.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But it's still now, like, I'm still kind of figuring out what's the right balance between building the know, like, and trust, where people can see you, they hear your story, versus these things. Because the challenge here is what we teach is always about posting value, your lifestyle. But when you post so aggressively like this, even if you make a lifestyle post or whatever, it
Right.
gets drowned. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking like, oh,
I know, right? It's the
yeah,
engineering in me, bro. I'm telling you. I think the same way. It's like, okay, if I'm posting because I was doing it for a second, and I got good engagement. I got people more looking at my page or what have you. The numbers went up or what have you. But my thing is, are great, but how does that turn into dollars?
that's
So,
a very and that is the $1 million question, because what started to happen is, and especially now, um, even the beta group students, they got the views.
right,
They're getting insane views, but you hit the nail on the head, right? They don't know what to do with it,
right,
right? And that's exactly why the front end offer, which is the $5 workshop, teaches you this strategy, which no doubt, I even put a guarantee that if you don't double your views in X amount of days, I will literally refund your money. You know
right.
what I mean? That's how confident I am.
Yes.
Then at the end of that session, I essentially tell them, but listen, the next biggest problem that you have is you have no way to monetize these views. And that's what happened. That is what is happening to, I can safely say, 98% of people doing this strategy.
Right,
Okay?
right.
Yeah, so what I always say is that you need a strategic sales process that is able to bring these people or new audience into your ecosystem that fundamentally nurtures them. Okay, and there's many different ways to go about this, right? One way could be like what you have, a school community. When I first started this, I didn't promote any offer, I didn't promote pop or anything and all that I had. What I was just wanted to test is, I am so curious to know, will these people actually click on my school link in the comment and actually join my school? To my surprise, they do. Right?
Right?
So, and especially if your post goes semi-viral, you'll be shocked to see like, whoa,
Right.
that is not bad. You know, I'll take it any day, because every day I'm logging into school, for example, and I'm seeing like, oh, okay,
Right.
interesting. And I know that it's, where is it coming from, because I never promoted anywhere else. You know what I mean? I isolated the platform to know that, hey, these people are really coming there, and it happens. And even right now, Adriane, with my $5 workshop, I make a post here and there, a silent launch. You know, you didn't see me going live or even like talking about it. But you know, with this strategy, I can see the clear differences of organic sales.
Yeah.
And I don't even know who are these people that are buying. That's insane.
It's that part though, right? And you're still helping people, you're still showing value, and the key thing is, like, we don't have to charge a lot, but you're getting them into your ecosystem. That's the piece that with the low ticket offer, then getting them to the high ticket offer. So I was looking at your mindset in regards to when you mentor people. You know, how do you help people stay true to their story, even when you're talking about with the $5 program or what have you within your posts? How important is it to be authentic and true to your actual story?
I think that is key, right? Like that is everything to me, and that's why, like, when I do this one-on-one sessions and things like that, I always reiterate this point, right? Like, I always ask them, okay, so what did you used to do for a living? If you're still working, not working, like I'm trying to understand from some of these students, like, what did you used to do, or what is your specialty? Right? So for you, like, Adriane, was it like tax related? Like, is that your background? Like, what was your background?
Well, I was in mortgages before I started my digital journey. So I was a mortgage broker. But
there you go, right? So
yeah.
I will naturally kind of start with something that you are already naturally experienced and knowledgeable in already. Even though it might not be related, like affiliate marketing, master resell rights and stuff.
Right.
It's just so much easier to tap into our real, true self and story, because you can create it like this. You know, I don't have to think about anything when I create content, because I know everything that I share is true to my story and stuff like that, right? So yeah, I 100% believe is one of the most important criteria, and that's always something that I always say, because that is the only freaking thing that makes us unique and different from one another. Even though we might be promoting the same thing, even though we might be implementing the same strategy, you know what I mean? The story is the thing that makes
the story is the thing, yeah. So how do you, like, in regards to AI, how do you feel about AI within, you know, representing your story and even helping out with some of, like, the automations and things that you're doing to get your message across?
Yeah, honestly, such a pain. 'Cause I was like, nah, just like everyone, I had the same resistance. Oh no, it's too much work, man. I gotta educate it and stuff like it. But the more I got into it with this strategy, the more I realized that, okay, this is absolutely insane,
Right.
right? And like this is something that's so important for yourself and your audiences as well. The one thing that made me go, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna push through the barrier and just go through the pain. Is this okay? Understanding that whatever time frame that we're living in, like right now, this is the worst AI will ever be,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Which means that they'll only get better and better
Right.
and better. Which means that the later we start, the more complicated and sophisticated it's going to be. But if we are riding the wave and moving with it, we don't have to be right at the top.
Right.
But if we are moving alongside it and implementing it, then you know that you will be secure in your marketing, your tactics, and all of this kind of stuff. Yeah. So.
And it's so crazy too, bro. If you think about it, I remember even starting when I started my AI journey with Billy Jean. He big on AI. But a couple of years ago, when I even started with being an AI genius and kind of going with that type of deal, it's going to be a divide, right? It's going to be those that actually listen, be a part of AI, and those that don't. Like people think the divide is those that use AI and not. No, the divide is if you have it implemented in your business. So like, how do you even talk a little bit about how like that transition of doing something new, how do you face these ever-changing world, right? Because this digital marketing, like Facebook, when we were actually learning it, we couldn't do this strategy. Like that was what we were caught up on, right? But now it changes. So how important is it for you to be open to change and be acquainted with people that are open to investing in themselves with change as well?
Super, super important. And the way that I see it is we don't have a choice.
Right.
Right? Like you have to learn it and you have to go back to being that humble self to say, okay, what, I don't know Jack. Right? Like, let me start as a beginner.
Right.
And just really go through the pain. And what motivates me personally to go through all the pains and all the hurts is that, like in any of our coaching sessions, you can tell that I went through the pain.
Yeah.
I can speak to it so freaking deep.
Right.
And can even describe to you what you're going to feel, what's the thing going to be. And that's why, like, for me, I'm always willing to go through the pain again because it's important to actually go through it yourself.
Yeah.
Understand the psyche of an individual that's going through it. And when you are in your school community, right, regardless of what the topic is, or when you create courses, free courses, lead magnets, you can tap into the psyche of an individual.
Yeah.
That makes you a very powerful marketer. That is also why I always tell students to remember that very moment when they make a high-ticket investment or when they get their first sale or anything at all.
Yes.
Because the exact same mindset, thought process your buyers will go through.
Right.
Crazy, right?
And then try to matriculate it. Like I was telling you just a couple of days ago, I invested in another AI course because I'm trying to take my game to billionaire status, right? And so you got to invest in yourself because, I was looking at Anthony Gallo ads. I hate them. The content creator ads. And so, but having he got me. $98, he got me, right? And so when I got into the actual course last night and I was going through some of the trainings, he had a session today. If you look at, like you said, just have to be around like minds. Like the noise has to go to the side. So how has your journey shaped who you are and even shows how the type of coach that you are to kind of even take on all these different things, even people, and seeing success like myself, because I'm not going anywhere. I'm stuck. You're stuck with me.
So what is exactly the question?
So how does your, the type of your journey leads you to be the type of coach that you are, like students like me that, like I said, that you're stuck with, like myself, so how does that actually play into your part as being a leader?
So it's really simple, right? I struggled and failed for 6 years, wasted tons and tons of money, right? I kind of went through almost everything that everybody else would have gone through, if not worse.
Right.
Right? So in my mind, I always told myself when I was going through that pain, I was like, man, if I ever invest in anyone, I'm not going to be like that person that I experienced. if I ever create a course, I'm not going to do it like the way that the course that I bought in that freaking costs so much, but it's, not even half as good.
Right.
And I think the most important thing is, I was like, why is it that everyone that does the space, all they want to do is just make money and forget about people?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, how much money do you need?
Right.
Right? Like, I mean, yes, we all do it to make money, but to a certain degree, man. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, it's true what I said. How much money do you really need? Like, greed shouldn't be the driving point. So that's exactly why I try to give everything back that I can, because essentially, who am I saving? Or when I'm, doing coaching or helping and all this stuff, I'm saving myself in those days, right? It sucks so bad. My chances of success or probability to be here where I am could have easily gone sideways should I fall into one bad motivated day, like that's how bad it could have been. So if I could prevent anyone from kind of going through that or going through that experience, that's exactly what drives me to do and teach and coach the way that I do.
But like, was this somebody that, because even the way you're speaking right now, I can feel your passion through, like, I know people say with these live conversations, they don't feel people, but I can feel your passion seriously through just our conversation. Was this somebody that actually helped, like, had your back? Like, I speak highly of my business partner, Unica Games, because like through this journey, like the ups and downs and bro, if I didn't have Unica in my life, it would have been bad. Like, because you don't have people around you that believes in you. And, I know everybody loves you, but did you have somebody in your life that, like, literally, I know you got your wife and your baby or what have you, but did you have somebody, like, cheering you on those rough days? Like, it was just all mentally just the grind of who you are, huh?
Yeah, because honestly, nobody understands what I do.
Bro.
My parents don't get it.
They don't get it. Right.
I have the double life, right? And, even my colleagues don't get what I do. The most popular question I get asked at work is, so Alvi, what do you do on weekends? And everyone else is like, Friday night, let's go for drinks. Like, the weekend, let's go and do this. And I'm like, no way I'm going to waste my time with that.
Right.
I'm living my future right here. So when people ask me this question, they don't know that I was living this double life, right? I stay at home.
Right.
Like, what? No. I work on my own stuff. I don't go into the details. But they are like so like puzzled and amazed, right? And I also learned like better not to share much information because they will ask too much questions and stuff. So even like my family at the time wouldn't understand what I'm trying to do. Mm-hmm. But my wife is definitely the key anchor. She's the one who, agreed to me investing like 12, 15K for coaching. And she even rationalized it when I told myself, like, oh my God, $15,000 is a lot. And bear in mind, I'm from Asia, right? So, like $1,000 is a lot of money.
Right. Shoot, it's a lot of money for us too. Shoot.
My wife tells me until today, right, like when I left my corporate job, mm-hmm. She still tells me until today that she thinks, like she will tell me, she thinks that she believes in me more than I believe in myself. Which is insane. Like to have this kind of like support is just phenomenal. Like, because who is the one that's actually sacrificing as I'm living this double life? It's my wife. Think about it. Because instead of us hanging out, watching Netflix or something like this, she understands that I'm sorry, love, like, I have to go to bed late because I gotta do X, Y, and Z. And on Saturday, when she wanna go out with friends, sometimes, right, I will sacrifice as well. I'll say, sorry, love, like, you go ahead, have fun. I just need to really work on this stuff that we have right now, for our future, that kind of thing. And she's always been understanding. Were there days where she said, like, you work too much? Of course, there is. So I guess the thing here is definitely my wife, but there will also be days where you have to realize and understand as an entrepreneur, as a dreamer, right, with really big goals that at the end of the day, only you and you alone can really understand the vision that you have, right? I think Grant Cardone said something very powerful as well. He said, like, when he was working his way up, right, he wasn't focused about taking care of his family and all this kind of stuff. He was focused on getting himself as successful as possible, because once he gets successful,
Yep.
then he take care of every freaking thing around him.
Yep.
So that also came with
Yep.
arguments with wife and all this kind of things. And I was like, actually, you know what? That's crazy true, because you're the only person who can
That's
actually
it.
see it, materialize it. So yeah, it's good to rely on someone to have the support, but try your best to also be as independent as possible, and just know that not everyone's gonna get you. Give me a second, my dog.
No worries. And what he was sharing too, like I say it all the time, being an entrepreneur is the loneliest sport in the world. Oh, look at the doggy. Oh, what kind of dog was it? And it has the little thing on. What did you do?
It's a Courtney, actually. It tends to lick her paw.
So, but I was just sharing that being an entrepreneur is the loneliest sport in the world. I'm an athlete, so like, you're used to being a team sport, but I think track was my only individual sport where you had to kind of cheer on yourself, but you still had a team, right, before you can actually score. But my point is, like, just getting around, we have the whole Love Warriors team, right? How important was it, like Daniel and Nathan and Chris and Salvatore?
I was gonna get to that. That is super, super important as well, because.
How did you guys meet?
I basically was like almost like student number one for one of their boot camps in the very, very beginning, in the earliest days. So I actually started with them, and I still am with them, right?
Right.
I started off as a student, like everybody else, right? Because I would invest, try to learn all these strategies, and try to see how I can fit them into what I'm doing. So it worked.
Right.
That's what I learned about Facebook Organic the first time. The only difference is I started to do all the 6 years of failure.
Right.
I started to merge it, hybrid it, create a process, and essentially build my own way of doing things. And it's been so important with them, and I thank them all the time as well, because what happened over time is we built a community of like-minded individuals trying to move towards a specific goal. And my wife cannot understand half of the things that why I do what I do. She doesn't get this kind of business, but with this circle, it is super helpful, because we can knowledge share. We can sometimes they're asking me how to do stuff. Sometimes I'm asking them how to do stuff. It's like a network community of great guys, essentially. So super, super. That's the other half of the entire journey, I would say.
And it's so great, because that was how I got to meet all of you guys, and you don't ever feel like you're alone, because you have this whole band of coaches that are together and working towards a common goal. So how has faith in grounding yourself in the strength in your process kind of led you to shaping you to be the coach and creator you are today, Coach?
Meaning like this process?
Yes.
Like it being part of the community? Well, I think it's pretty interesting. Like I remember when I first started, right? Because Daniel and Nate was ahead of me. So when I first started, and I was like, okay, I created my own boot camp. Now
Right.
Right? The truth is everyone starts from somewhere.
Right.
So I kind of mapped most of it on my own, and there were times where I said, guys, what exactly do you do in this thing again, where you kind of got all these people in? Like how do you do it? It's like, then they will share. Right? That's why our relationship is the way that it is, because very early into the days, I realized that I'm surrounded by individuals who are not selfish. They're willing to give, and just by nature, we always give back. Right? There's some things that I'm really good at. There's some things that they're really good at. Every coach is really good at different things, by the way. So imagine putting all these guys together, like in this group of 6 or 7 of us. Definitely one of us is an expert in that topic. How cool is that?
Right. And so what would you say is your expertise, like in regards to, would you say Facebook, or just your digital marketing journey, or even just talk about your digital marketing course? What made you start like your own Digital Freedom Launchpad? I want to make sure that you give some information about that as well.
So Digital Freedom Launchpad is actually not a cost, and not to worry, because I didn't officially announce it or talk about it at all. The only thing that I'm talking about in the front end, just started, is the $5 workshop. It is actually a 4-phase journey, and it's subscription based, right? And I kind of designed the psychology to getting people to actually do the work and the unlock model. And it's highly gamified, by the way. You can't just come in and go from model one all the way to the end. Nope, no way. You got to start from phase number one, do the assignment, post the stuff based on the instructions.
Right.
I personally review it. Only then I will look at your work and I say, okay, good, you're good to go for the next phase. Okay, so it's highly, highly gamified because I took all the things that I learned from coaching individuals, coaching groups, and what makes people not move forward in their journey. So I kind of created this kind of 4-phase process for them. But in this what the specialty I would say is actually I'm an all-rounder marketer, right? Anything and everything works well for me, but I would say personal branding, authentic marketing, right? Video creation, speaking and stuff is a lot of the things that's in my alley. No-brainer, super bonus offers. Like a lot of people will tell me like, yeah, I'm a great marketer. And I only am because I look at a lot of references, I study a lot of different stuff. I also try to model and improve something that's already existing in the market and things like this. So really like a jack of all trades, just getting back to that set. But like all the coaches, fundamentally, we are all really good at, Facebook.
And then Danny Jr. just shared too. He said the great reminder that honesty is the best strategy in business, and even just knowing that your story, and that's why we do these live virtual conversations, is because your story is the best marketing tool that you have to leverage just getting started and going through that as well. So I do thank you for your time. I want to make sure I hit the top 8 before we actually check out as well. But I want to talk about Digital Freedom Launchpad just a tad bit because again, it's so great being a part of a community. But what you bring to the table, Coach, is something authentic that nobody else. I love everybody, and that's no bias. But when you bring it to the actual table is so amazing. So for somebody that's on the fence in regards to getting started in digital marketing, maybe they're in the corporate world and they want to get started with digital marketing, what's something that you would actually share with them to kind of even look towards, having you as a mentor? Because like I said, I hands down, you're amazing.
Well, I guess it's, if you want sincerity or authenticity, generosity, then definitely that's where I would come, because I would literally tell people, no.
Yeah.
No, or this is not for you, and why.
Right.
Right? Because, everybody is different in their journey. Some people come into this no experience at all. Some people have some digital experience, but have no idea with personal branding. That's why this part of the process is key, like really understanding the student first based on what they essentially need. But in regards to Digital Freedom Launchpad, I've designed it in such a way that it takes this Facebook attention hack, which is one of the most hardest part for beginners, where you get eyeballs to an offer.
Yeah.
Then essentially position you as the marketplace authority for your niche, for your product, for your offer, and it works for any, right? And then from there, we essentially go through the respective steps and sequence that I use, right, to essentially make my first 10K, 20K, 30K, the exact same steps, okay? Because I can tell you, even though this was 3-4 years ago, it is still highly relevant today. What changed? The only thing that changed is the front end traffic source. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And James actually is asking the question as well, in regards to what's the first step to launching a digital brand from scratch?
Okay, so I would say for your digital brand from scratch is start building the know, like, and trust. Okay, start putting out your messaging, whatever it is that your brand stands for, whatever it is that unique selling proposition of your brand, right? Like who you are, who do you serve, and what kind of results you help them generate. This needs to continuously come out in your content as you're gathering all of your people, right? Because when we put out specific messages, you attract the right kind of audience to come to you. So you definitely want to do that on your social profile. You don't want to use all social profile. You want to pick one that you are really good at or easiest to use. I'll recommend Facebook for now before you start going into, Instagram, TikTok, and stuff. Okay, there's a lot more to it, honestly. But yeah, that's probably the best way. You need to build a personal brand.
So if they fill out this form here, that would actually get you into their ecosystem, correct? To be able to start helping them in regards to the next steps for the digital journey. The link is on the screen as well. Is that correct, Coach?
Yeah, just to clarify, this link is for you, madam.
Okay.
Yeah, but essentially, like if anyone wants to kind of discover roughly what it is and all the stuff that I spoke about and how this entire Digital Freedom Launchpad comes in, you guys can just go to alwibutterilan.com/5x, or you can see it on my profile. Start with a workshop first because it's only $5. You get a good idea about what it is that you want to potentially go in. If you kind of like what you hear and it kind of makes sense in how I essentially position and put them in, then only you can look into Digital Freedom Launchpad. That's why I don't promote the Digital Freedom Launchpad on the front end, because the $5 workshop is essentially pre-qualifying the audiences as it is, right? If they can self-identify that this thing makes sense, right, then they will know what's the next step. Thank you so much, David. I appreciate it.
Bro, you're an inspiration to David. And then too, Clyde was asking how can beginners start building their digital freedom like this. And so you just gave it. And I want to put it up on the screen in regards to your link. Here it is. So if you go to your actual link, that will actually help people get started with the $5 journey, because freaking amazing content, coach. I appreciate it. And so much people as well. Branson is asking, I want to ask as well, what's the difference between Passion Over Profits and your digital launchpad?
Okay, that's a good question, right? So Passion Over Profits is a master resale rights program, also known as MRR, where it's a you buy a digital franchise license essentially, where you own part of the business, you can resell for 100%. Digital Freedom Launchpad is a very strategic 4-phase process that you will go through that will essentially firstly teach you the most important part, which is how to generate traffic utilizing this new Facebook traffic hack or attention hack that I call it. Step number 2 is positioning yourself as an authority in your space, even if you have no following. By the way, guys, this will work for you. Even if you want to do this faceless, this will work for you, okay? And how do they do that? Through your essential Facebook profile. Phase number 3 is essentially bringing them into your ecosystem, right? Where you create either a lead magnet of yourself and things like this, right? And once people come in, your back end magic starts to kick in. Okay, so it's an entire ecosystem, and the beauty about this is program neutral.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't matter what you want to sell. You can even promote mine if you like, or if you don't have a product, I actually even give you guys my top recommended list, right? But essentially, this works regardless of what kind of offer to promote. So you got traffic, right? You got authority. You got a way to build your back end, right? So that you can start emailing and nurturing your back end system. And then the final 4th phase is all about closing sales. My proven DM scripts and frameworks on how to handle all this conversation.
And you're honest and authentic too, so that's the greatest thing too. And don't be shy, bro. Your link is on the screen, because again, I know I wouldn't be here in regards to mentorship and getting like these strategies and just knowing you over the last 3 years. So I thank you for just having your whole journey. And then Clive says you're amazing too. So he says a great discussion that we're having. So awesome. Thank you so much, Clive, as well, for joining in. So let's do the fun top 8, because I got to get you back to doing your things or what have you. I appreciate you. So if you could be any superhero, coach, what superhero would Always be, and then why? I would be Flash, because I'm a Delta from Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. So what would yours be?
I do like Flash. I would just say Superman, because that's always been my favorite since child. And I still, who doesn't want their powers?
Right. And play along if you're actually watching this live in the comments as well. So, you said Superman. Is that right? Is that Superman?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So if you could eat any food, coach, all day, every day, my food's still going to be watermelon. If you could eat any food, what would it be and why?
Okay, well, fried chicken.
Oh, come on, fried chicken.
Fried chicken, every day, any day. Or Asian chicken rice. Right? I'm not sure if you guys will be familiar with it. I can eat it every single day. Yeah.
So what's the difference with Asian chicken rice? Like, what'd you say? Asian? Say it again.
Yeah. So it's basically in Asia we just call it chicken rice.
Okay.
Essentially, it's just boiled chicken with boiled rice in chicken broth.
Okay.
And some chili. Very, very simple, basic food. Yeah.
I love it. Okay, I love it. And so my next one for you is, if in regards to where you're from. So I'm from Detroit, Michigan. What up, though? Detroit Lions won. Come on. So where would you say, where are you from, and where do you call home now?
Well, I'm from Malaysia. I just happen to be half Filipino. And where do I call home right now? Malaysia is still home, even though I'm living in the Middle East right now. Yeah.
So I know that's right. I mean, home is home, right? And so, in regards to travel, I used to live in Toronto. As you know, that was my favorite place. My cousin played for, with Toronto Raptors. So, T Dot, what up, though? Where's your favorite place that you've traveled and, why?
Whoa, that is a tough one. I never really thought about it. Ooh, let's see. I recently went to Japan, Kyoto specifically, uh,
Nice.
with my wife, and we just had such a good time that it's still at the back of my mind where my wife told me, like, can we live here? I said, we could. Like, just not yet, okay?
Right.
But we could, because we've lived in many countries by now. And I said, yeah, it's a good possibility because we liked it. We really, really enjoyed everything about it. Yeah.
I don't know. When I went to Japan, they looked at me like I was a giant because I'm 5'11", and everybody, so they were taking pictures with me. I'm like, I'm no one, but okay, just tall black girl from Detroit. So, but no, I love Japan as well. So, in regards to your favorite season or time of day or what have you, mine is my sobriety date, right? November 20th, 2023. Like that old Adriane I got rid of and alcohol, I'm done with it. So that's the day. It was also the day my cousin actually passed away. So, Jabari Weston. So I keep him in my mind every day. So do you have like a date, coach, like that is like stands out for you, or a season, or even a holiday that stands out for you that, kind of is, huge for your journey?
For my journey, I think I will forever remember the month and the day that I said bye to my corporate job after 16 years. So I haven't got a chance to celebrate the annual just yet, but that's definitely a date that I'll remember because I'm always thinking, how long has it been? Like, what have I done so far since this? Like I've left since May, right? And I kept on only recently as well. I was counting the months. How many months has it been? Okay, what have I done so far this month? Just to keep myself back in check.
So May, do you know what day in May? May what?
I think it was May 2nd or 9th, either one of those. Yeah, I honestly can't remember exactly, but I just know it's the first to second week of May.
You said the month of May. That's all me. I got you. Okay, no worries. And so, just a couple of words. So, if you could pick one word for your brand and your actual who you are, my word is resilient. What's the one word that you would actually represent for your brand, and what would that, and why?
Genuinity. Yeah. I would like two words first. I always say this: genuinity and authenticity. I think at
That's
the
a big
center,
one.
the core of my brand, it's all about being authentic, real, truthful.
Yeah.
Whether I write in a form of a Facebook post or a reel or a story or any kind of video, even in my teachings, right? Like if I'm not like 100% good at that topic, I will call it out first.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'll never say like, oh, I'm this expert and all these crazy things.
And it's so crazy. I didn't even tee this up. Clive said, or Clayton, excuse me, said this amazing insights with no crazy. Paula just said, how can authenticity boost brand growth in 2025? And you said that's your one word. Do you mind answering that real quick for Paula?
Yeah. So how does authenticity boost brand growth in 2025? Honestly, just think about it logically. Like I'm assuming, like Paula, I don't know what niche you're in, but let's just assume for a minute you're in a make money online. Okay, what happens in the make money online industry? Everyone is going to tell you, hey, this super secret system is a step 1, 2, 3 to making your first $10,000 online, right? Or they'll go with, oh, this is so easy, it's crazy. I was in the toilet literally, and I made $1,000. Something crazy like this, right? Because it's usual, right?
Right.
But when you are authentic, right? Like me, when I first started, I said, listen, making money online is not at all easy. In fact, it is insanely difficult. But let me tell you, it is a real thing. And if you are willing to actually put in the work, keep your head down, and not expect immediate results, I can guarantee you guys, this may potentially work for you. Boom. Okay, when you hear content like this that comes from a very authentic place, because that was real, right? That was what I was feeling. And I didn't want to be that guy that says, hey, it's so easy to do this thing. No, I wanted to be the guy that goes against the grain and be the guy who actually calls it out as it is, as it rightfully should. Okay? And then just to coach you real quick, the reason why I do that is because now I'm repelling all the guys who are lazy and just want a quick magic solution, right? But instead, I'm attracting the guys who is like, hey, it makes sense.
Right.
At least this guy is actually saying something that's completely different versus a thousand of people that said that's exactly how authenticity is going to boost your brand growth in 2025, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. You will never run away.
That's it. That's it. Come on, that's amazing. So, in regards to like your mindset, is there a book or a movie that motivates you for mindset? Mine's still Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad. They didn't teach financial education in schools. Do you have like a book or anything that actually stands out for you in regards to this building?
Not so much a book, but most recently, what I've been doing is like listening to, I think it's Motivation University,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Like on Spotify.
Okay.
And that kind of like, I just let the playlist go, and that kind of just fires you up.
Yeah.
When I'm going for a walk, I just play, or when I feel like not as pumped and motivated for the day, I play it sometimes. Honestly, Tony Robbins is probably the best
Yeah.
in this space. Like if you just listen to any of his free YouTube sessions or on Spotify, that like really boosts you up. Yeah.
And that's awesome because Tony Robbins is such a positive, like a role model, right? His mindset is just on another page. So my last question for you, my friend, is in regards to if you can go back, in your journey, like way back to the beginning. You said like 16 years ago you started corporate, but even before that, when you were a young Ollie, if you could tap yourself on your shoulder and give yourself some type of advice that would help you go through life, what would that advice be? And you're listening because us as kids, we can listen. So what advice would you share in regards to that?
Like 16 years back.
Or even before, this young Ollie.
Yeah, this young Awi, man, I think just go through the pain as you would.
Yeah.
And essentially, I wish I knew earlier that the pain exists or the challenge exists for a reason, and that we don't know when exactly is it going to come to life and that realization comes, but it will come, right? Because it took me quite a long time to realize that all of these things that we go through has a reason behind it. It's setting you up for something that you just don't know or don't see just yet. And I guarantee you guys, you will look back and say, man, I'm so glad I went through that pain that point of time because it taught me X, Y, and Z and makes me prepared for whatever it is that needs to be done for right now,
I'm just going to say right now that I'm hyped because this is the most people I've ever had on my live virtual conversation with 137 people. Oh my God, Coach, that is a lot of people. And I just want to say thank you everybody for watching, as well as Coach Alwi for everything that you've done as well. And please don't hesitate to reach out. His link is right below his name because again, if you want someone that's authentic, that has been through the journey, that knows the ups and downs, that left the corporate life, that puts family first, that will give it to you straight and no straight shooter, seriously, but still loves you at the end. That's what Coach Alwi represents. And I honestly want to thank you for even saying yes for the live virtual conversation today. Because again, it's billions of, and this is the part I don't understand. There's billions of people on Facebook in the world, right? But taking a risk on yourself, that takes a lot of strength. And to get around like minds to be able to do so, that's what you've done today, Coach. You've helped me hit a record today. What up, though? And just come on, let's go. And literally everybody that's watching, you watched something that's so amazing in regards to just this today in itself. So is there anything that you want to actually leave the people with? Because like I said, you're in a record-breaking day for the live virtual conversation.
I want to thank you very much for having me. I really do appreciate it. You are absolutely amazing, always filled with energy. Like that's really, really something that nobody can ever take away from you. And energy is equally as important to showing up. So I really appreciate that. And yeah, like for everybody else, guys, like no matter what it is, you just need to kind of believe that you can actually do it. Okay? If you're struggling with something, you're only presently struggling with it. If you acknowledge it by yourself and admit that is the problem, that is essentially step number one. Step number two is just finding the solution to get to where you want to be. You know what I mean? That's how I look at life. Yeah.
That's it. And I thank you too. And I'm going to ask you for a testimonial. You know it's coming. But I'll hit you on the Instagram for that or the DM for that. But thank you for your time today and all the words that you actually shared. So thanks, Coach.
Most welcome.
Let's go. Let's go. What up, though? Coach Always Buttering. I don't know. You know what? Let me bring it back on real quick. Coach, how do you say your last name?
It's Butterilan because I'm half Filipino, so that's a little bit of the Spanish side. Yeah.
Say it one more time. Butterilan.
Butterilan.
Butterilan. See? Say the name right. Okay, thanks. All right, Coach. Let's go, Coach Butterilan. Hi, come on. Live virtual conversation with Adriane Baines. I just want to thank everybody for showing up today and listening to this millionaire mentor that's launching the Digital Freedom Launchpad and even giving an opportunity for a $5 course to get started in this digital marketing journey, as well as day 509 in the billionaire journey, helping me hit a record for the live virtual conversations. What up, though? Come on, Coach. I've been doing these since May 6, 2025, and they have been amazing. But hitting a record today? Oh, come on! It just feels great that how God actually has everything aligned. So I'm going to leave you with this in regards to just understanding this digital journey. A couple of days ago, I invested in myself with Anthony Gallo, and of course, content creator, because AI is the next thing. When I found out my coaches were going to the AI summit this weekend, and knowing that more and more that you invest in yourself, it starts to get around a team of people that are actually doing the work with you and be in the trenches with you. That's what a coach always does. That's what Adriane Baines, your AI cash story captain, will do. But it's you versus you at the end of the day, because it doesn't matter. Even if you spend the $5, if you don't look in regards to doing the work and getting the results and believing in yourself, you're just going through the steps. So I want you to literally just take these moments of knowing that you're exactly where you're supposed to be today. But as long as you keep going, stay motivated, get around like minds, and know that if you around the corner, the best version of yourself is almost there. You're in the right place, my friends. So hopefully you got some value out of this live virtual conversation with me. Make sure that you go ahead and get started now and pop the link in regards to getting a part of the community, building something amazing with Attach Extraordinaire in regards to AI, business marketing, and taxes. And so you can actually know to stop leaving money on the table. But the things that they don't tell you, that's what we're building to help people grow in this digital grind. So you're not alone, my friends. And you got to keep going. So you know how we end every live virtual conversation. I can, I will, I shall be victorious. What up, though? Detroit, Michigan, to come on, Malaysia. Oh, my God. All around the world. Let's go. Deuces. Yo, Coach, 137 people, Coach. Oh,
I'm looking at the.
Come on.
How many do you normally get?
Say it again. What? Can I get 3, 5, 7? Bro, when I saw it, when I tell you I'm not bullshitting you, I couldn't even, that's why I didn't even go right into the top 8. I was like, oh, you got to put your course out there again. I was like, this is a.
That is insane. That's a lot of people, man. Like, I'm amazed, like, the amount of people that join on YouTube. That's insane.
Oh my God, that's never happened. That's the first time, and that's why I didn't mind saying it out loud, because it's the first. Seriously.
So I did you a favor because I figured you will go away and you won't have the time. Let me send you the screenshot.
Come on, thanks, Coach. You gonna post it and tag me, or are you gonna send it to me?
Take a screenshot of like the live people watching. That is a massive win. I managed to only capture the 132 watching now. That is still insane, right?
It only took me 4 or 5 months to get here.
I mean, if it tells you anything that this works, and honestly, YouTube is the mother of it all.
Yeah.
Right? When you set up all of these things, like you got your community, you got all the stuff going in your profile, that is what I keep on telling. This is between us, right? I keep on telling the other coaches. I say, guys, like they're asking me, Alvi, what's your plan? I say, listen, I'm going to do this, but at the end of the road, YouTube.
Yeah.
So I say, if you want to start anything, you have to end at YouTube. Yeah. Because that's where the zeros will start to truly add up. And if we learn anything from Alex Hermosi's launch, he kept on going at it. Going. And I can tell you from other entrepreneurs that I invested with, like 8 figures, 9 figures, they say the same thing. They say like, oh man, one thing that he did well was he kept on going, especially with YouTube. He never stopped. Well, all these guys were comfortable, they were millionaires and all that. And $100 million launch. Insane.
I'm going to actually try that though. Honestly, we're supposed to launch our school community either on the 15th of October, or I don't even care if two people show up. Like I'm just going to keep going like for hours and just go through every single part of all. Just keep going. Like I watched half of the launch. Like I didn't plan to because I just kind of caught it. But I watched like 6 hours of it, and I was like, let me look at the psychology behind this. Because I was on the marketing tip of that. I was like, saying he's giving away a free course. And then I saw how like the whole antics behind it. So I was like, I'm mirroring that. I recorded it. So I literally put it on my YouTube page.
Actually, you know what? It reminds me. Let me do a quick like video to talk about the attendance.
Let's go.
Yeah, let me just zoom this in so it's a full screen. And one thing I really like to do is do things like this.
Yes.
And you probably should start to before, during, after, right? Because if you think about it, this is the easiest kind of content to create.
Yeah.
You are literally documenting in real time while everything is fresh. That's why all the short forms that I create is so natural, so true, because I'm feeling it and thinking at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay? So let's try and do this in one take. Boom! All right, guys, I am with Adriane, and we just finished a live session, guys. How many people did we get into their live of yours? That's insane.
137, yo. Let's go.
137 watched live for about 70 plus minutes. A record for her.
Yes.
Absolutely amazing. I'm super impressed. Let's freaking go. I will probably drop a link to your YouTube. And if they want to catch the replay, I should have probably said it.
But I'm going to send all of it. Don't you? I want it too. You want to do your testimonial now, or you want to send it to me? Because I can record it now.
Testimonial for this thing?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Like how the interview went and things like this?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Okay.
So so basically just to talk about, do you want to talk about the name of the show or something?
So just, you just say, you introduce yourself, and then you literally, let me say this very quick. You introduce yourself, and then you just say how your experience was being a live virtual conversation with Adriane Mays. So your first one and how it was, and shoot, we hit a record today, coach. Let's go. But whatever you want to say at that point. But all you do is introduce yourself and how was your experience, and I'm gonna record it so that way I get me out the way. That way you can get back to your life. Okay. Let me know. And whenever you're ready, it's on you.
All right. All right, it's all we about to read on, guys, and I just literally finished a live interview with Adriane Mays, and it was absolutely amazing. The questions was really on point. She is super prepared, and actually, I'm not gonna lie, guys, this is the first live interview that I went where in real time she's looking out for the images, the sites and stuff like that. Super awesome. Personality with Adriane is super, super fun. So much energy that it made me feel like, I have no choice but to match her energy as well, right? So overall, super fun experience. I definitely recommend coming on to a show. We also just have a first record-breaking live stream. Over 170 plus people who tuned in a 70 plus 80 minutes live interview. Absolutely insane. Let's freaking go, and thank you, Adriane.
Let's go. I'm so crunk right now. I don't even have anybody to be crunk with. But seriously, I don't even know. I'm going to call somebody. Oh my God, bro. Let's go.
So just a couple of tips then.
Yes, please.
Your links, where does it lead people to? The one that was popping up for yourself?
So it's an opt-in for them to opt into me. And then from there, it goes into my offer. Which I...
Okay.
Which is just right now, it's just like I can actually show it to you, but it's just like everybody, like an ultimate offer, meaning all of my different tools and things I'm using in my journey, because I'm building my school community right now. And my plan is to, have everything go to the school community. That's my plan. But for now, that's...
Is your school community live or not yet?
Not yet. That's why I wasn't pumping it like that. So, yeah, not yet.
Okay, that makes sense, because I would have said why don't you just drive everyone to your free school?
That's the plan.
Control nurturing hub. And honestly, Adriane, everybody, even me, when I started the school, I didn't even have content, but I just started to promote it anyways. I just had the bare minimum just to see people would join, and I actually left it like that. And as people came in, I was like, okay, you know what, I better start.
Because that's how I have it built. Only reason I haven't doing this is because I'm doing it with my business partner, and it's really I'm using her branding and her name or what have you. So that's the reason I haven't just used it because she wants me to so she wants to wait till October 15th. So that's really the reason why I haven't pumped it all the way type thing. But
and also it just hit me. Another thing is when you do this kind of live interviews, right? You need to always bounce back to the audience and get them to actually comment a specific word when they agree. Like, if you say something cute, it's like, hey, how many of you guys here agree with what he just said? That's powerful. Or how many of you guys here
that's a good one.
Agree that authenticity is key? Just drop authenticity or drop one down below.
I wish I would have thought about it. I couldn't, bro, when I saw the numbers going up like that, I couldn't think straight. I lost all the
No worries. I share it with you now because it actually requires practice. And I actually teach it too, right? When I do lives, I say, just drop the number one if you guys agree with me. Because it's so easy to type a one.
Right.
If you ask them to comment a word, it's a bit harder, but it can be done. But start practicing this thing where if you guys agree with what I just say, just drop a number one. And if you disagree and you have a different point of view, just drop number two. It's interesting to know what happens. Continue your conversation.
Right. Dang.
And you try to find ways to keep doing this because if you had 170 plus people just now, and you were dropping this thing and people engaging, man, this could have easily 10x, I think.
I know. Oh, damn. It's okay.
No worries.
It's the first time for me. So thanks, Coach, for saying yes. And thank you for just an amazing hour, bro. I really appreciate it. And I literally have learned so much. And yes, I'm going to get into the Facebook thing now. So I'm going to do what I'm supposed to. Yeah, you sold me.
Yeah, it's definitely worth a try for sure.
Yeah.
Especially if you have a school community.
Yeah, and then do it every 3 hours, or it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
No, honestly, because you're just starting, right? So you just give it a go. One, two posts, whatever works in your favor. And once you slowly get into the rhythm, then you increase. But if you want to see all the better students, I can't remember exactly how many times they posted. But when I first started this, I did one post every hour.
Damn.
4 posts in a day, and it just spiked up. And then I realized, no, this is not. I cannot keep this up. And I started to do based on when I have time. Even if you do 2, 3, 4, you will realize that what's happening right now is Facebook is really pushing this content. If it hits the audiences, it has a hook, it has a value. And when you start no CTAs, just value driven, just to let Facebook know that you are sharing a lot of value and they slowly get used to it, and then you only can start dropping your CTA. So just play around with it. There's no right or wrong. Yeah.
Okay, I'm on it. I'm gonna do it today. I've been doing maybe I've been doing 4 a day, 4 or 5, but now I'm gonna scale up now. I'm gonna scale up because I saw my views go up, but.
You mean your actual post right now?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Sharing. Yes. You kind of started already.
Yeah.
It's just that it needs to be mixed, and that's what makes a lot of people uncomfortable, including me, because some of it is not even related to my offer and stuff. Sometimes it has to be mean too, because the idea is you're hitting and tapping these different buckets of audiences from all over, not just affiliate marketing, for example.
Right.
But you're just hitting this really huge, broad audience, and some of these guys is actually going to be curious to know, actually, what do you do?
Right.
So that's why we're playing around with different stuff. And when I first started this, I literally made a post and say, guys, you're going to see a lot of weird stuff on my feed. I'm going to highlight this stuff. Don't judge me.
Right.
I literally made a post about it before I started.
Right.
I knew that in order to do this test properly, I had to test everything.
Let's go. All right, Coach. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you, and I'll see you soon.
Okay. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.